Ashley. I married traditional. I'm living somewhere else entirely. Hey, Ashley, I want to start by saying I love my wife. That part is not the question, but I need somebody to be honest with me about what I'm actually dealing with here because I feel like I'm going crazy. When we met, she was everything I wanted. She was intentional about home, took pride in how things looked, cooked consistently, and kept everything running smoothly. I'm not talking about some fantasy. This is just how she operated, and she was proud of it. We talked about it openly before we got serious. She wanted to be a homemaker, she wanted that life. I made sure because I didn't want to assume anything or put something on her that she didn't sign up for. She told me this was who she was and not who she was performing to be. We got married, and for the first couple of years, it held. The home was taken care of. Things felt like what we agreed to. I was handling everything I said I would handle, providing, showing up, being present. I help on my end completely. Then the kids came. And I understand children change everything. And I'm not naive about that. And I'm not sitting here expecting the same household I had before two kids entered it. What this is about is everything else has shifted. And I feel like I can't say anything without becoming a problem. The house isn't clean the way it used to be, and I mean consistently. Not a bad week, not a rough patch, just the baseline. She hasn't moved and kept moving. Cooking has become more of an event instead of a rhythm. Things that used to get handled now fall through completely unless I bring them up. And when I bring them up, suddenly I'm the bad guy for noticing. She tells me she's overwhelmed. And while this is also the life she wanted, and I built everything around that, I'm not coming home to criticize her. I'm not making lists or keeping score out loud. But I am a man who organized his entire life around a partnership that was supposed to look a certain way, and it doesn't. I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to bring it up without sounding like I'm attacking her. Because here's what I can't say directly to her. I feel like I'm holding up my half, something that isn't being held up on the other side, and I don't know if that makes me unreasonable or if I'm just not allowed to have expectations anymore because circumstances have changed. Ashley, how do you have an honest conversation with your spouse about expectations that were agreed when life looked different without it turning into an attack on who they are now? And is it fair to hold someone to a version of themselves that they may have genuinely grown out of, even if that's not the version that was the whole foundation of what you built together? Signed, holding up my end, not sure about hers.
When it comes to marriage, it's all about compromises. Like which things are you able to compromise? I think questions. One of the questions that people don't go into is what if my husband or what if my wife changes during the marriage? Can I be okay with that? And would I be okay with that? That's something. I mean, obviously, when you marry somebody, you're thinking about the present. It's hard to think about the future.
You should be thinking about all of it. You say till death do you part. That's a long time.
Yeah, that part. But people don't think about death till you part.
That's crazy.
Most people don't.
It's
I mean,
literally
you
in
look at
line.
you look at the
You
divorce
gotta
rates.
say it out loud.
Yeah, you got to look at that.
That's crazy.
It's hard. So it's hard. Like marriage is a marriage is. I think you.
I feel like there's a simpler solution though. Like, yes, marriage is hard, but like, get the lady some help. She sounds overwhelmed. So I would say, like, yes, she's not cooking and cleaning, but why? If that's genuinely who she was as a person, then she's changed who she is as a person. And my question would be, is she overwhelmed with the kids? Does she have help?
Definitely.
Is she, how, several questions. Does she have postpartum? How old are the kids? How far apart did this happen? Now, if you got like a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, then you saw how she was living with the first one. Why would you have a second one if she couldn't handle one? Like, there's a lot of questions. I do feel like you can't always get what people say. Like, you got to trust that what they're saying is real. If she did lie, I mean, if those are the values and you can't deal with that, get a divorce. I mean, but there's several options. Hire help, get her in therapy. Maybe she has something going on. Because if that's who she is at her core and that's changed, I would say there's something else emotionally or mentally off. But if she's just like, I don't care about mess and I'm cool with that, maybe hire somebody to come in weekly and clean the house and then see if she like can get back into the rhythm. If she can't, I mean, like Kell said, it's not hard to get divorced.
Just have a conversation. I feel like
always have a conversation.
I feel like a lot of people don't communicate these problems with their wife first.
Try therapy. Don't talk to your friends. Just try and seek a licensed medical professional.
I always advocate for communication. I feel like that's the most effective way of getting those problems fixed. I feel like she would open up to you and say, "Hey, well, the reason why I haven't been doing this is because A, B, and C." So
Have house meetings. Like, y'all should be meeting weekly to talk about the house, the kids, have marriage meetings. Like, y'all got to communicate. And it sounds like you're not. And she's struggling. Help her out. Maybe hire somebody to clean the whole house, get the house exactly where it needs to be, and then see if that helps. If not, have somebody come in weekly. And then if it keeps progressing, then you have to have a different conversation. But you definitely got to talk and help her out. Because this sounds like something bigger.
It's 2026. Traditional ideologies are waning, so you gotta understand that not everybody's gonna hold to their traditional values as much as they would if this was like the 1800s. So, good luck, brother.
Good luck. If you guys have any more, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.